This is Nish from The Offering, and I'm blowing it up with Capital Chaos TV.
All right, this is Zoran Theodorovich with Capital Chaos TV, and we have a couple of guys from The Offering on the phone. Who do we got here?
Yo, this is Nish, the guitarist of The Offering.
And this is Alex, a singer of The Offering.
And how are you guys doing on this? What is today, Tuesday?
Today is Tuesday, yeah.
It's a beautiful day here.
And where is here again?
I'm in New Hampshire right now.
Cool.
I am in San Francisco.
Oh, very cool. And we're about a month away from the release of your debut album. Is that right?
That is correct.
I think so, man.
And the album is called Home.
Yep.
Is that right?
That's it.
Yep.
What's what's that title all about?
So, I kind of wanted, we all think about our lives a little bit, and, in some self-reflection, I realized that the home is where we all start, and this is our debut album, and I wanted to do a homage to, everyone's beginnings, the band's beginnings, the birth of the band, and, talk about all the themes and traumas and ideals and stuck-in fates of the home.
And not everybody's home life is Leave It to Beaver or perfect in that regard. Do you come from a less than perfect background or home?
I wouldn't say that, but what I like people to do is to really spend some time and think about their childhood and realize that a lot of the good times and a lot of the great family units that we have are all kind of, there are times of trauma, there are times of hard times, and it's not about always being around the bad or being from a bad area or a bad house, but it's just coming to terms with the reality of your childhood and the reality of where you grew up and the reality of how the home affects us as people, meaning like our homes affect what we can be, what religions we are, what, the fate that we'll have. It's a never-ending cycle of where we're born and where we grow up, and that's what I wanted to get at.
Oh, very cool. And your new album, your debut album comes out on Century Media Records. Is that right?
That is correct. The one and only.
How did that come about?
We've actually been in contact with them for a couple of years before we did our EP with them, actually. So there was a phase where we were playing shows in Florida and we came across Kelly Schaefer from Atheist, and he did a huge hand in sending us out to a bunch of record labels and a bunch of guys and great press outlets and trying to see what's going to stick here. And we were in talks with maybe I think 2 or 3 labels total. A couple gave offers, but none of them were as respectful in terms of, this is a contract we can take, and B, a team of guys that really support what we wanted to do. And Century Media did both of those things. They gave us a great contract, and they gave us an amazing staff of people that are basically saying, hey, we're totally behind what your vision is. Do what you got to do, and we'll find a way to market it. And I think that's been so key in us making this album specifically, because we've had all the freedom in the world to make it the way we want to make it.
So I take it you've seen some bend-over contracts.
Yes, sir.
Yes, we have.
Contracts that just have you scratching your head going, are you insane?
Yeah,
I'm not going to out anybody on this, but
sure.
There have definitely been a few from reputable sources and reputable labels where I've gone, seriously? No one in their right mind would take this. And
might as well just punch us in the nuts,
Do you care to share any particular clauses that were like, whoa, hell no, that come to mind?
Well, there was one that we got. I'm obviously not going to say names, but it was like,
sure.
with our EP, Century acquired our EP, but gave us, you know, a lot of great incentives, and, you know, it's a 4-album deal essentially. But with this the other label that gave us an offer, it was like nothing for the EP, and I think it was like over the span of 4 albums, we would have gotten like $1,000 worth of advance money, and it was just like, really, like you can't even like for 4 albums you expect us to use $1,000 to make 4 albums? Like, come on.
That's crazy. But
yeah, man, we'll try to do crazy things.
Yeah, I know we're still starting out, so we weren't like, you know, up our own asses when it came to that thing, but we were also just like, that's just not physically possible. It's not going to work, you know.
But people do offer those, and bands do sign those things still to this day in hopes.
And it's really depressing because there's definitely like an information gap between artists and labels and other artists actually that I've noticed. Like in the, you know, the 4 years that we've been a band, it's not like a ton of experience in the grand scheme of things, but it's enough to be like, hey, like some of these practices are just taking advantage of, you know, the guys that don't know enough, you know, and that comes down to booking agencies as well. Like we've had some interesting encounters with people, and luckily we have a team that doesn't support any of those ideals, and they're very, very accommodating.
Has pre-sales and pay-to-play been a part of your business model at all?
Oh God, so when we first played in Florida, I think we did in our entire band career, we've done 2 pre-sales, and both of them we were just like, why are we doing this? And the second time we did pre-sale, we were like, you know, this is, we almost left the venue being like, what a waste. Like, I can't believe we did this. But luckily for us, the band that was headlining took us out on the night. They took us out to bars, and we met a lot of important people that night. So as much as I like to bash pre-sale, unfortunately, that one pre-sale just happened to be lucky in that the headliner was really nice to us.
Yeah, but let's emphasize the fact that, like, 1 in a million chance that the headliner will even talk to the first opener of 4 openers of a pay-to-play situation. Like, we were very lucky, and yeah, I don't know, man. It's weird that the culture has turned into that, and that's a sign that our scene in America is kind of lacking in a way, you know.
Yeah, we definitely don't support pay-to-play at all. Just at all those stupid experiences, you know. It's not. It's like I said, it's an information gap. Promoters, you know, they assume people don't know enough to say this isn't worth it. Unfortunately for us, we saw it early and said this isn't worth it, you know.
Did your pre-sale situation give you an opportunity to make a little money, or was it just all money to the club?
Oh, dude, no fucking money.
No money at all, no.
Oh, wow. Because here in Sacramento, there are venues that do pre-sales, and they give you a few bucks back per ticket that you sell.
That's not a situation like that.
Oh, okay. So there's different kinds. In Sacramento, yeah, you can. I think it's $2 back per ticket, regardless of what the ticket price is. So if you sell 50 tickets, you can, you know, obviously the math is you can make $100. So it's not. I don't know. It's a double-edged sword, right?
Yeah, and I mean, I understand where the promoters are coming from. I mean, like, if we take our artistry out of it and the fact that we're musicians out of it, like, you know, a small venue or like a decent-sized venue probably doesn't have enough money to get a big touring national band in. And if they can make these bands, you know, sell a certain amount of tickets, it guarantees that the headliner will come through. You know, and that kind of like, sadly, that's where we're at, and it's just because, and it feels like it's because a lot of people are not going out to see live shows. If the houses were filled with a scene where everybody goes to every show, then there would be no pay to play.
And it is
that the burden of that falls on the artist now, which is kind of strange. It's just weird for a promoter to do that.
And Frederick Nerdstrom is the producer that you worked on this album with. What did he bring to you guys besides twirling knobs?
Well, actually, wait a second. Before that, Nish produced the album, and Frederick actually just helped us engineering, but you can go on with that. I just want to clarify that. Like, this guy that we're talking to now, it like did the producing. I mean, fuck, the kid put in hours, man. You can't even imagine.
Thanks, Cheech. I love Frederick. Honestly, he's honestly, in my opinion, one of the best metal engineers going right now, just because he's not stuck, and he's honestly just a great guy to work with. He worked well over his payroll for this one. Like we gave him his deposit and everything, and he said, okay, like, I need you to fly in and we can work on this together for like an extra week, and that's what we did. So I went over to Sweden and crashed at his place, and we had like a little bit of a weird mixing camp where we just, absolutely destroyed the 8 songs on the album, and he was just nothing but nice the entire way through, and super accommodating, and he had a lot of great things to say. And what I liked about him the most was that he was always honest. He never fluffed me, if that makes any sense. He never gave me some crappy pat on the back artist, try to be soft. He was just like, if this sucks, it sucks, and so let's work to fix it every time. So I think if we didn't have Frederick, the album wouldn't sound nearly as good as it did, because so many other producers in metal today, when they get mixes, they just put it through a template and they call it the end of the day, right? It wasn't like that at all. And
there's a lot of really tasty leads on the album, which I'm a big fan of. It's somewhat of an eclectic album. It's varied, I would say. It's not just 9 songs of sledgehammer riffs.
Yeah, man. The main focus, at least, I'm speaking for myself at the moment, but I feel like the main focus of this band is just to get an emotional response from our listeners. And, there's a lot more than just anger and anxiety on the emotional spectrum.
Yeah, but there's a lot of metal albums that we, listen to as a band, and we're just like, does this need to be 14 songs when, 11 out of 14 sound the exact same, right? So for us, we like those old school records like Zeppelin or Van Halen, where they have, it may be 8 songs because that's how they could fit on the LP at the time, but they're all 8 songs that really knock you off your feet, and they take you on a different journey every time. And so that's what we were trying to do, and by what you're saying, I think we got it. So that's good to hear when someone, picks up on that. We don't want to have, the same song copied and pasted 14 times over and say, hey, here's a metal record, it's got riffs, right?
Where does Dungeons and Dragons, sports, and video games fit into everything?
Oh, hey-yo.
That is an interesting question. So our drummer and our bass player are into fantasy for sure.
They are, absolutely.
They are the D&D players. They are the guys with the blonde hair and the Viking axes at their homes, Nish, I don't know, but we play some video games. I play some video games. I don't know about you.
Oh, yeah, no, we're all huge gamers in the band, for sure. Just different genres for each person, I think.
Yeah, very much so different, except for Super Smash Bros. 64. I shit you not, dude. There has been broken, we have played hundreds of hours of that game against each other, and, it is fucking intense.
I'm not familiar with it. I'm somewhat familiar with because I'm old. I'm familiar with the arcade version of that. What's funny,
dude, is people think we're old for playing the N64 version.
What characters do you always pick in the game?
I love
in which game? In Super Smash?
Yes.
Fucking Donkey Kong.
Yeah. I rotated around for a bit, but I always played Pikachu because I'm an asshole. Steve always played Kirby, and I don't think we really had Spencer playing. We haven't really had Spencer play a few rounds, but
honestly, I don't think Spencer could keep up.
Yeah, it was weird. When we lived in Florida, I think we went to the end of the game stats. You can look at the archives for statistics of each player. I think we had about 10,000 KOs in the span of less than a year or so. It was a lot. It was the only game that the band had plugged in for about 8 months at a time. So
you can't punch your your guitar player in the face, but you can KO him in Super Smash Bros.
So now I'm looking at your most recent music video, which came out last week for I guess it's your first single. I know that single. Yeah. I know that song has also gone to radio. So the video came out really good. I imagine you spent How much time did you spend putting that thing together?
Oh, Jesus. You know, we only filmed it for about 2 days, but the post-production took about, when I say 2 weeks, I mean 12 hours every day for 2 weeks. We got a cool videographer, Josh Ballman, who pretty much was like a one-man team when he filmed it. We had like one day where we did the live shots that you see, and then we had another day where we just had Alex get beaten up for about 12 hours straight, and that was day 2. And then beyond that was just piecing it together. But we did a good job of capturing. We really wanted to make the shots really pretty in every element of it. So I hope we communicated that.
I think you did. Absolutely.
We're playing on the radio. Where are we playing on the radio?
I believe that you've been sent out to radio. Actually, we do a radio show as well. We played Ultraviolence last week on the show.
Thank you.
Thanks, dude. That's awesome.
Absolutely. I'm sure you'll be getting more airplay as time goes on. I mean, the radios it's a little different now. You're not as reliant on, commercial. I don't know what commercial radio is like where you are, but commercial rock radio here in Sacramento is still playing the Rolling Stones, which is not a horrible thing, but the station that would sometimes the local station here that would sometimes promote the upcoming Slayer show will never play any Slayer. It is the Rolling Stones.
I was actually up in Sac on the 4th of July at Topgolf, not even kidding, and they were playing like Sabbath and Van Halen on the radio on Topgolf, and I was like, this is pretty sweet.
Yeah, but that's like 80s rock. Like, they're not gonna fucking play anything relatively metal today. They're still playing Hotel California, over and over.
Yeah, Boston, right, absolutely. Which apparently some people like. That didn't work. They wouldn't do it.
Old people.
Older. So, well, thanks for taking the time to talk to me. I'm sure that I'll get a chance to talk to you again when you come through this area. Do you have your tour planned all lined up, or is that still a work in progress?
We're confirmed for a bunch of European dates. They start up in 2 weeks, and we'll be there for about a little under a month just to do the festivals, and then we're going to start buckling down and planning out a fall leg, which at this point it's leaning towards Europe, but we're also on North American stuff as well, because we want to take over America if we can, because we're from here, right? So it'd be nice to, but it's such an undertaking, I think, and our label presence is strong in Europe, and that just helps so much with that kind of stuff.
Well, thank you for your time, and good luck. We look forward to seeing you when you come to the area, and have a great day.
Yeah, man. Thank you so much,
man.